Hello and welcome, Fortnite fans. We are here. We are live. Little Indiana Middle School Esports Network action coming hot at you. I'm FBI Tugboat here with my man CLE. The playoffs are here.
I know, it's time already. Time has flown by. The regular season has ended. We are now in the quarterfinals, and we're going to dive into our format shortly.
Absolutely, yes. These young folks in various middle schools all across the great state have been doing battle to go forth here and see exactly how this is going to shake out. So let's talk about our playoff structure. Hop right into it here, guys. There will be 9 different teams seeded 1st through 9th. The regular season was just used to determine that seeding here for the playoffs, CLE.
Yeah, and some of our teams did very well. Some of our teams didn't do as well as they may have hoped, but we are on board with some of the middle-of-the-road teams. We are going to be on board with match number 3. You see round 1 is happening today. We will be with the 3rd, 4th, and 7th seeds from the regular season, and so a lot of these teams that are looking to prove themselves today.
Absolutely, and just based on the numbers, right now, again, regular season seeding is just that, but we're going to have on paper the most well-rounded match of the 3 of them, really. Let's take a look here. So round 2 will be December 4th. That'll be match 4 and match 5. The top 2 teams from all the previous competitions will be going on to round 2 on the 4th.
Yeah, and then further than that, the top 2 from those 2 matches head on to the grand finals on December 11th, which will be absolutely electric. We'll be crowning our state champion and runner-up through that match. Trophies and medals on the line. It will be something you won't want to miss.
Oh, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Undying honor and glory going to the winners here, as well as trophies and medals for the state champion as well as the runner-up. Let's take a look at this bracket here. Again, we'll be in match number 3 down there at the bottom with LHC, the Legion, the Lyndhurst Legion, taking on Hobart Fortnite, Varsity, the middle school there, and then as well as Greensburg Junior High going forth and doing battle. This match will start in just a little bit.
Absolutely. It will be a showdown for the ages, and we'll obviously keep an eye on the other matches happening today as well, because we're very excited to hear about the semifinal matchups and who else will be moving on. But we will have 10 rounds of Fortnite Zone Wars coming at you guys here shortly, and it will be whoever has the most points, whichever 2 teams have the most points, winning the most rounds at the end of all 10, will move on to the semifinals.
Absolutely. And that is last player standing here. You can go forth and take all the eliminations in the world and then fall to the storm because somebody else who's just ratting through and trying to stay alive. You will lose all of those round points. Your team will get nada. Obviously, eliminations required frequently to get down to that last player standing type method, but at the end of the day, still got to be the last player alive. Eliminations only help in your quest to become the last player alive there. The storm is unforgiving. Before we hop into this competition here, CLE, I want to talk a little bit about one of the organizations that do make competitions just like this one possible, and that is Zotac. Hey, everyone. We want to give a huge shout out to Zotac for powering today's stream. Thanks to their incredible support, we're able to bring this broadcast to all of you, helping, of course, to showcase some of the amazing talent here within Scholastic Esports, specifically middle schools today. Let's show our appreciation for Zotac Gaming by giving them a shout out on social media. Make sure to join their community on Discord, and don't forget to use the hashtag powered by Zotac, Zotac spelled right down there, ZOTAC, or Zotac, hashtag Zotac USA when you post. Big shout out Zotac. We'll talk about some of the other organizations that make competitions like this one possible, but big shout out to them. CLE, the story of the regular season frequently, not last week, but frequently, was one team going forth and just ploying their absolute dominance over the other 2 or 3 teams, just kind of scraps given up to the rest of those teams. Logic would follow. That's not what we're going to see in the postseason.
I would think not. A lot of these teams have learned some of the strategies from the other teams, and so you're able to understand a little bit more of what the strategies look like to win these rounds, whether that's playing safe, whether that's pushing other teams and getting early eliminations and good high ground. But yeah, I think at this point in the season, it really is anyone's game. Any of these 3 teams could absolutely come out on top.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, the way that they made their way through the regular season, there's no real surprises here. Now, we did see an interesting little strategy get utilized in weeks past, right? Frequently, the team that stays on top, or gets on top, excuse me, and then stays there with all kinds of supports around them is the team that's going to go for it to later rounds and take down a point. Now, we saw teams going after the base, right? Going after the supports here, and all shall fall before them because they went forth and just threw just this huge chaotic element into the rest of the game.
Yeah, there's so many different ways to play the Zone Wars. You see on the left there, people building up onto that clock tower, but also people above them currently, and people on the ground on the other side. And so as our players from GJHS are setting up in this building, we're starting to see some of these strategies already come out to the forefront of our competition.
Absolutely. I mean, a lot of these have been really kind of slow initially. That just makes sense. We'll see a lot of early action and probably loads of eliminations before, the first 60 seconds or so, probably on later rounds. These are not teams as well that may have like a whole lot of experience with each other at CLE. As it is, we're on board with HC. This is the Lyndhurst Legion, as getting just into the zone is a little bit easier said than done.
Yep, and now trying to contest this high ground, get back up with their team. We saw 2 of their players already up here, but I don't think that they're alone. I believe one of these other teams is up here with them, and they are trying to contest this high ground to set themselves up well for the later parts of this game. You see them down there in that box, the roof getting edited, and shots raining through there. Lots of damage and no heals for one of our representatives from the Legion.
Yes, we do. Excuse me. We are not going to have their specific impact on board here for all of our teams, unfortunately. Here now, taking a look, member of our middle school. Now this is just going to be an effort to try and get up and get vertical with this soon as we are reaching 2 seconds away from our next zone progression.
Now, but not quite knocking anyone down. We do see one person fall on the left side of our screen. Hiding behind the bus is one of our players, but now shooting up into the air and leaving their back exposed.
Yeah, that's a lot of damage quickly there. That's a quick and rough lesson to learn. Now they do have a little bit of healing. Big med packs, small bandages, but that's nothing doing when you're talking about shields, and something tells me they're going to need shields coming into this last circle.
Yeah, shields are very important, but oftentimes this will come down to that flat green HP healing too, because of the storm that is the damage it does. So having these extra med kits is incredibly important. We're seeing a lot of eliminations come through. We have only 2 players alive here for Hobart. Getting this last chest to see if they can find some heals.
Now getting a little bit lower on board with the Lyndhurst Legion right now as this circle closes in, as does the Legion. They're just going to be completely surrounded. They're all 4 players alive. They're going to have a little bit of health advantages as well, and now they've found their rat. Yes,
wow.
Last player down, and that is the Lyndhurst Legion that's going to come out on top in game numero uno. Fantastic stuff.
Yeah, well done to the Legion. Keeping all 4 players alive is no small feat in this game. That is something that we don't see very often. Oftentimes one person will get picked off or whatever. But they took the high ground, and that was the strategy that paid off this game. And so we see the victory come through for them, getting off to an early point lead.
Yeah, and that's CLE. What's the earliest we've ever seen one of these games finish? Was that the earliest we've seen a game finish, even with 3 teams? Like, obviously, might happen a little quicker for 3 teams, but
yeah, I feel like usually we see it come down to the final circle, right? People will die just because they're getting ticked down by the zone, and so that was quite an early finish, able to get that final elimination from the opposing player in that box there. So well done. We see the Legion here already hitting up that middle tower, getting that early high ground, and this seems to be their preferred strategy.
Yeah, Legion 6, excuse me, Legion 6 player here was just bouncing up and down, trying to kind of catch wind of any players getting aggressive. Well, maybe that was a strategy they should have continued because they just got dropped on right here. Now that's a lot of damage. They lose track of one. And the test dummy right there, the car test dummy is going to take them down, I believe. Yeah, Ford Super Bro, so that's Hobart here getting a couple of shots earlier, and then Ford Super Bro going to be dropped for their efforts.
And we see one of our players being down here on the bottom of this tower. This tower is the epicenter of everything that is in this IEN custom Zone Wars map. And we see so many of our plays being centered around this stairwell, so many of our plays being centered around the top of this tower. And so Greensburg setting up here, editing some of these floors, slowly working their way up to maybe contest the Legion.
Pirates trying to find their share of the booty here because they're working together as an absolute crew, right? There's spitting distance maybe between these four players and a categorically different strategy that we've seen utilized there by the Pirates, by Greensburg there, and we have other squads. Moving on here. Or excuse me, still along with Greensburg. Okay, and as soon as I say it, they kind of split up a little bit. Now they're just really they're just building all the way into the side of the circle. We've generally watched teams try to just fill up that center circle, right? Like as closely as they can. Now just kind of flirting with the outside zone here. I have to wonder if this is a strategic predisposition that we're seeing here from Greensburg. If they're just opting to stay on the outside, that was a sniper shot right there. So they're gonna be letting their presence known.
Yeah, they're slowly working their way towards where they think the final zone will be, but also using their heavy sniper to their advantage, peeking out this window, trying to knock down some builds, and maybe even get one of our players to fall down and maybe even fall to their death here. But we're seeing that might not pay off with what this circle will end up being. We know that is the biggest part of this. You need to be in that final zone, and you need to be as healthy as possible.
And the Legion have this lesson tattooed on the back of their eyelids, basically, because this is just another day at the Oscars for this squad, the Legion, aptly named. Now, I believe that's just a UI error as well. I believe all four of these Lyndhurst Legion players up. For some reason, the spectator is listed as the fourth, whatever. On board here with Clicks, Ford, Rye the Shy Guy. Rye the Shy Guy.
Great
Love
name.
the name. Love the name.
Yep.
And I can't quite read the fourth name. If you can, then let me know.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure. I think it looks just like an amalgamation of letters to me. So, but we are on board with Hobart here, who got some early kills that we did see, contesting that high ground, now raining in some shots, hitting some white health there. I believe that is the Legion who have built, or Greensburg that have built out there. And so they're going to need to keep their heads on a swivel here. They are being focused.
Yes, they are. I mean, that burst SMG, it may seem a little counterintuitive. It's an SMG, you'd assume it's an automatic, but the way that unlocks middle range capabilities and accuracy, now you're talking about your DPS, your damage per second, and the average therein just skyrocketing, bro. A little bit of health picked up here. This will help Clicks and the rest of Hobart as the circle closes.
Yeah, and I believe it is only these two members. Now, two members is still pretty good at this stage in the game, especially when they have full health, and so they will be continuing to push that forward. But again, we're seeing at the top of the map, the Legion taking that high ground and now pushing themselves into a great position to have some storm survivability, trying to get into some of these players' boxes, trying to get some ticks of damage so that they do not fall down first, but they do there. The Legion fall down, and so...
Believe that's the that's Greensburg doing a fantastic job. So really all they do, see, that was a fantastic look at this one, because what we're looking at there is the Greensburg squad. They didn't really control the top, they didn't really control the bottom, they just really controlled the middle. You saw both Legion and Hobart players are left just spinning their harvesting tools at walls right there and getting killed by the storm. Fantastic stuff.
Yeah, the storm obviously is everyone's enemy in this situation. It is the timer of these rounds. It is what will make all of our players need to be in proximity of one another. And so we saw it there. Some players dropping down to try and get some more shots off, but the player that survives the longest, that's the name of the game. And so for Greensburg, that was the situation that they found themselves in.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Fantastic shout out to the strats here of Greensburg, perhaps, almost certainly, right? Partly in due to the coaching staff here. That is B. Gabbard and Nick over there for the Greensburg Junior High Pirates. Fantastic stuff. We'll talk a little bit more about coaching staff, some of these other squads, right? Looking at Hobart, right? We have Chris King, we have Coach Jay, we have Jay Reno, and SRO Jimenez, I believe. Jimenez? I mean, I believe it's
nailed it.
Right?
Jimenez? Probably Jimenez. Yeah, these coaches are just absolute legends. And then the Legion with their head coach, Joseph, just absolutely doing a fantastic job giving these middle schoolers the opportunity to be competitive in esports. And so we are incredibly thankful and jealous, as we often talk about when we commentate together, of how much of a great opportunity this is. So we head into our third round knowing that maybe Hobart can get on the board, as we are on board with them now, seeing if they can get their spot here and get 1-1-1 on the scoreboard.
Yeah, so we're taking a look at Hobart right now. Given that there's only 2 other squads, I mean, if there was a full 4 squads, I feel like moving across like that would have been just a death sentence, right? There's no way that you wouldn't have been able to get across there, at least with full shields, to get the other side. Like, all 4 players just gonna get absolutely swarmed, right? As it is,
absolutely.
A lot of yardage here given up, CLE, as these players are showing just a categorically different strategy. Nice shot there. Gold Sniper gonna make that thing sing.
Absolutely. Legion again showing their strategy and wanting to take this high ground, but they're pushing down earlier than they used to. They are now contesting that mid ground, trying to get better shots off, trying to get some cheeky little bits of damage if they can. You see some of the Legion spread out all across the map too, trying to get different angles.
Having to utilize small health potions here. A couple of Legion members, so maybe they're finally kind of getting punished here for their aggression, just kind of wanton movements across the circle. Again, not something that would usually go untested. Way across. Now we have plenty of treasure chests and pick through. Rai the Shy Guy. Love it. Love it.
Yeah, Rai already has 2 kills in this match, so clearly is one of our players that likes to play aggressive and land some of these shots. Unfortunate bounce there, but able to get up a little bit onto this high ground and trying to contest the Legion here. I'm not quite sure where Greensburg is at this point.
Now you see Hobart just hit the ground and be happy with it. There's going to be Ford Super Bro now. So what Hobart was doing is responding to Ford getting dropped right there. Unfortunately eliminated here.
The Legion still 4 strong here, staying at the top of this building, but they need to now get into the storm here to try and avoid taking some early damage. We see this long tunnel, and I believe that's an enemy in that tunnel.
Brutal stuff. They're going down from like 25. Okay, Bear 16. They're like, look, they're flirting with like 50 total health between shields and their actual health, and with only purple weapons to go. This is a fatal flaw, fatal mistake that many Fortnite players have committed before. You just put it all into offense, now you have nothing with which to get yourself a little bit back to normal there, talking about shields and health numbers.
And look at Greenberg here. They're just kind of sneaking along, setting themselves up in the storm, controlling these walls so that they can't be edited. Just staying a little bit quiet, keeping an eye on where everyone else is. You see one person above them. They want to get into that box if they can, and they will do so. Now it's just down to a race for who will have the most HP, who will stay alive longest, and it will be Greensburg once again.
Nicely done. So with a back-to-back victories here for the Pirates, they're going to sail off into the sunset with 2 scores across the first 3 games. Taking a look, by the way, you know what the most impressive stat of all this is? They have done that now twice back-to-back with a total of 2 eliminations.
And Tugboat, remind us, how do you win a round? Is it by killing people?
That's fair, CLE. It's fair. Strats and hardcore ones deploy here from Greensburg back-to-back rounds to, you know, really ploy an advantage right here. It's a fantastic point, CLE. You can take all the eliminations in the world. Just doesn't matter if you're not the last player alive.
You know, but it does look cool. You know, we have a player with 5 kills, and he's like, yeah, I've got 5 kills. I'm crushing it right now. But you are down in points as a team, so we do have to prioritize really what that number is on our top scoreboard here, because that is how you will move on to the semifinals.
Hey, style never dies, baby. So that's what I always said. Looking at Hobart, clicks forward, Ride the Shy Guy, and as CLE said, quote, an amalgamation of letters. An amalgamation of letters. That's not a caster response. I don't know what is. We're looking at Hobart here. We'd really love to see a little bit more of a well-rounded performance from them take down a couple of rounds here, maybe stop Greensburg, a little bit of momentum that they have garnered in back-to-back games. What's something that Hobart can do to try and have a better shot at being that last player alive, CLE?
I think they need to set themselves apart from the rest of the lobby as far as strategy goes. We see clearly what Greensburg's strategy is, playing a little bit passive, playing slow, controlling the builds. We see the Legion's strategy of taking that high ground, maybe going a little bit more aggressive for kills, but Hobart's just kind of stuck in the middle. They don't really have that clear identity of what they want their playstyle to be, and so that will be really important in order to get them to take a round win. We see some nice shots being rained in there from Ford Super Bro. So,
Brutal. Try as they might, and perhaps that's a little bit of what CLE was talking about. An unclear and split decision when you're talking about overall strats, what you want your team to do. Given that Hobart has kind of been left looking for that. This is the same situation they were in before. Not 100% sure what it is that they want to do, and so now their fate isn't like truly their own, right?
Right. And we see that like everyone's just looking at them. They know that they are a target of a lot of our other crews. We have the Legion looking at them from above, and we saw Greensburg now pushing in and trying to take over their boxes as well on the low ground. And so while the Legion just sits here and watch, Hobart is trying to take out Greensburg.
Yeah, like the Lyndhurst Legion and the Greensburg Pirates have just what it is really is they're playing their own game, right? They're forcing opponents to come forth, play in like aggressive positions because they're completely set up, whether that's on the ground, whether that's like naturally in the tower, or whether that's all the way at the top in these massive formations and towers that they have built. Regardless, they're having primo like location. It's just, I mean, like in business they say, right? Location. You could say the same thing for Fortnite. How about some game skill though, and how about some shots? Accuracy reigning the day here for the Lyndhurst Legion as they get one pulled up there and just cook it as it comes.
Yeah, quick scoping's really hard in Fortnite, and we just watched it here on our middle school quarterfinals. And so just an excellent shot there with that heavy sniper doing massive damage, taking away all their shields as they were trying to push that high ground.
And now hit the ground here. No scopes necessary for more SMG play. Lyndhurst Legion player 5 bites off a little bit more than they can chew. Takes down one, but there's a trade going down bottom. Yeah, and then there's just the calls come out here. Again, not sure about the player's tag or name, but Lyndhurst Legion player 2 gets the information. It's like, hey, this is a finished effort. Don't bother coming down here because you're not going to like what you find.
On board now with our only scoreless team, Hobart. Clicks, 5 kills, able to do a lot of damage here, able to get some kills for their team, but needing to stay alive now for their team. Taking the low ground approach, so maybe contesting what what Greensburg was trying to do beforehand, but the Legion from above is just absolutely raining down bullets.
They really are. Lyndhurst raining lead down there. As it is, the mild mistake there is that all 3 players are looking out across walls. You always have to have one player looking on high, especially when you only have one layer of wood fortifications, right? Your builds are up there. Lyndhurst Legion on board with Lyndhurst Legion 1. They got 6 eliminations across 3 games, now 4 games, excuse me, so far. This is last circle starting in about 5 seconds. Everybody on the ground who has edit capability is going to be fantastic. Now this is that's really interesting. Okay, so this player stays alive. So they stay alive right here because they take the elimination. When you take elimination, of course, you improve half of your health. Now that's a quick way to get splashes and more, and Greensburg takes advantage of that one to stay in the driver's seat. Cruise control has been engaged. 3 wins back to back to back.
And again, they got 2 kills that round, which is a good round for them. But all that matters, they stayed alive the longest. They kept their HP high enough in order to get the round win. So they are up by 2 on everyone else in this lobby that is really kill hungry.
It's a fantastic point, CLE. Like, they have their eyes on the prize. No reason to deviate from a strat that has brought them 3 now wins in a row. I mean, you can be the Lyndhurst Legion, you can get damage out early. What that seems like is just softening things up for the Pirates to come on in there and grab their share of the booty, whatever.
Oh, absolutely. We're entering the middle games of our matchup for today, and these are where some of these teams either cement their comeback or try and set themselves up for an easy victory. We see the Legion umbrellaing and going all the way to the other side of the map already in this game. Taking a massive shotgun shot is the first player from the Legion having to use some of these heals early.
Yes, splashes. Now, that's not something we've seen utilized as much here on the day. Obviously, within Zone Wars, this is going to be the quickest way for you to get yourself and any teammates lucky enough to be around those shieldings and health as quickly as possible. Now on board with Greensburg, excuse me. We're going to be looking at possibly a team with a much different strat. Strat or not, you got to get through these edits and get some of your own out. Hearst Legion player 1, trying to respect the player down low, takes a little bit of fall damage as well as they get down there, and they look back, and all of their teammates are within the storm.
This is a crazy play by this player from the Legion. They take one player down there. Excellent play by them. I'm sure the rest of their team is shooting from that high ground. But it looks like he's literally moving with their team, trying to shoot them while moving in their unit, which is just a crazy, crazy confident move. And so we see it working out there for the most part.
Yeah, just a little bit of cleanup here from the Hobart members. Elimination's not a problem. Last player alive, different story. They have not been able to find a single round win across previous 4 rounds. That I really do feel like that's just a method of figuring it out. Nice shot. All your shields are gone.
That was a crazy flick. And again, these middle schoolers just consistently prove to me that I stand no chance, and I am absolutely trash at this game.
Dude, the building, it's really the building. Like, the shots are impressive, but being able to do that switch and then land shots, yeah, maybe in a couple FBI Tugboat Dreams or something like that, could I hit those?
And the edits, dude, like, I can't even.
Oh, I couldn't even do that one hit. Like, yeah, that's even beyond, like, trying to mix shots, and just editing in such a way where I'm not, like, running up and just just running into the wall, like having my hit box just running the wall right there. Not 100% sure what happened down bottom. Maybe a dead controller or something like that, because that player didn't even move. Now that's a lot of damage coming out afterwards. 9 health left. We've all been in the dead controller situation before. You're just like, oh, I can't move. Mom, get the batteries. We need to get back on. We are in tournament time, and so I'm sure they'll be ready to go for next game. Yeah. But it is unfortunate that they are down a player now this round. Yeah. They always came out the remote for me, right? I don't know why we didn't just store batteries next to the entertainment center. Right. But it seemed like it always came out of the remote if it had to come quickly. Yeah, for sure. And then your parents would be like, "Why is the remote not working?" You'd be like, "Well, I need it for my controller, Mom." Anyway, the good old days. We laugh, but this is a lot of FBI Tugboat timeout and grounding and not able to leave because of something I did over and over and over again that did not make my dad happy. Let's just say that. Mainly surrounding batteries, it seems. Yes. As we head into one of our final circles here, we will be shrinking down to a big time contestant from the Legion here. Not quite able to land on those builds, though, and so not getting the high ground that they would want, but nailing some really big shots there, dropping down to try and stay hidden. This player from the Legion is going absolutely crazy here. The Legion took down round number 1. They have not found last player alive success since then. Now, I have to wonder if this Legion player was softening the players on high first so they can try and get an elimination. Nah, that ain't gonna happen. Taken down right there, and we're gonna see Hobart all up together. Dude, yeah, never a doubt. Look at that. So cute. We had health for days. There was players with like 75% health left right there. All 4 of them huddled around each other, celebrating with some victory splashes right there, knowing that all 4 of them are going to survive into this later game. That is, I don't know if we've ever seen 4 players be alive at the very end.
Am
In
I?
last circle, no. In
Yeah.
circles before that, we have because team
Right.
players have just gone forth and like eliminated everybody. But not in last circle, and certainly not in a situation like that where there's like literally no safe places left. It was like just purple everywhere, and however many splashes is going to determine how long you stay alive.
Yeah, you know what is a safe space though, Mr. Tugboat? Any
a safe
place
space?
that LandFest is building. They build healthy communities through gaming across all of America. 23 chapters across 18 states with over 150 events a year. And you can probably find an event right near you at landfest.com.
Pretty safe assumption. They do a lot of work. Let's just say that. I think that'd be the understatement of the year. Fantastic work, and a lot of work, scholastic organizations and otherwise. They had a camping land, all right? They had a camping land.
That's so cool.
All right, isn't it?
Except with the bugs, I imagine bugs wouldn't like screens very much.
I thought there was a bad pun coming. Sorry.
Oh, well, there could be.
Like puns, like
like
bugs and like computer games or whatever else like that. Programming.
Yeah, I'm sure the game companies usually do a good job getting rid of the bugs, but outside has lots of them. So
very true. Camping land, love it. On board of the Lyndhurst Legion. They were able to figure out in round number 1, 0 success since then, outside of eliminations, of course, which doesn't ultimately mean anything.
Okay, we see I was giving them some feedback, right? I was like, hey, we need to develop a strategy if we're Hobart. And here it is. They are staying on the ground. They are building up walls and roofs and cones to try and help them survive as long as possible. And unless someone comes down there and tries to contest them, they're not really going to know where they are because of all of these builds. And also, it's going to be very difficult to get to them. And so we see Hobart and Greensburg both employing the strategy here, while the Legion are probably sitting on top of this tower, wondering where everyone is.
Greenhurst, my only issue with this is they have to split who is putting these out. We're on board with a player right there that has 0 wood, obviously, right? Or obviously the material that goes up the quickest. That's why is in a way kind of the most important, right? Obviously,
Sure.
steel being the strongest there, brick being a little bit of something in the middle. But you need quick builds and ones that aren't just going to drop in a single shot. That need like a lot, like 3 seconds to actually get formed, right?
And we see the push finally come in here too from the Legion. They know that they have to get a move on here, or they will literally just all survive and just mind their own business until the storm closes. And so for one of our representatives from the Legion, now on top of Greensburg, I believe below them, laying out their own platforms.
Not against this. You have 2 constructions there, so even if they get through the bottom, still have a little bit of cover before shots do get through. Moving on along, on board with Hobart. Our most recent round winners, I will remind you, CLE. Hobart, not out of this one yet.
Yeah, and they have some momentum now, right? They won that last round, and so, hey, maybe they can just go back to back. Greensburg did it. Why can't we?
Exactly. I mean, there's been like a little bit of, coming out on top of Greensburg at this point would take 3 more rounds from each of these 2 teams, and given that we're in round 6 right now, that'd be like kind of a hard issue. But given that the top 2 teams move on to farther along within the postseason, last team, this will be your last match, right? There's last sequence of 10 games. This is really a competition between Lyndhurst and the Greensburg Pirates.
Absolutely, and this is going to be a very important round. If Hobart or the Legion are able to grab this one, it'll give them a huge leg up on the competition, maybe even be able to contest that first place in this lobby. But it's going to be very difficult to get there, as we've seen that each of these teams has the ability to win rounds. And so Hobart playing their safe strategy that they've now figured out. We see a little bit of action here. 2 teams have finally found one another within the maze that they have built.
A lot right there, and the circle is gone. Players dropping like flies. Legion has one player left. There's some splashes. This is the last hit. Yeah, there's no PvP right now. Tries to get to the corner.
Wow.
Then the splash is not going to happen. And Hobart does it for the back-to-back.
They did it. They went back to back. Hobart surviving on the low ground once again. We're seeing this strategy be so effective because, as we've said so many times, last man standing wins. And so for them, for Hobart, 2 rounds in a row being the last ones alive is a great showing.
Really is inspiring right there. They have understood the assignment. Last player alive, whether that's with eliminating everybody, like you kind of see the Lyndhurst Legion trying to do early, or that's just staying alive, get your little campfire going, not actually, but just with splashes, right? And make sure that it hits all 3 of your teammates, right? Like yourself as well as all 3 of your teammates. Hobart with back-to-back, and the Lyndhurst Legion on alert here for game number 7.
The Legion maybe need to adjust their strategy. Clearly, they are the players in this lobby that are able to gather some kills. But if you're not on the same level, if you're not by them, if you're just raining bullets from above, it's going to be very difficult. And especially if you lose that raw HP, that is the most important in that early or late game circle situation. And so we see for the Legion, they once again take this high ground, trying to nail some shots, but unless they get close and personal and hop over into their territory, I'm not sure that they will get another round win here soon. Gotta make it happen.
Yeah, this is really crunch time, given that Hobart, they don't just have 2 scores here, CLE, they have 2 scores back-to-back. Such an important factor of momentum within eSport, and especially here for Zone Wars. Ford Super Bro optimizing the sodas and more to try and get their best loadout coming out of this one, given that they are on the edge of the circle and they know it.
Yeah, and I think it looks like they were pinched there. They had a team behind them that was firing bullets and a team in front of them that they were looking at. And so it is a stressful situation. We see a res happening in the storm there as well. Hopefully they can get that off and then recover that raw HP. But for Greensburg here, pushing that middle ground, it looks like, not quite staying all the way on the ground, but instead in this middle here, but getting bullets rained down on them from the Legion.
Empties the clip against the wall, finds a little bit of damage on the other side as well, as Greensburg is in trouble right now. These Pirates found 3 scores, they found them back-to-back, and they have found nothing since.
And it looks like the Legion are just being much more aggressive this game, as well as Hobart trying to pinch them from the other side. Once you get stuck in the middle, that is very, very unfortunate for your situation in this game, because the Legion from above, and if you have another team focusing on you from the ground, it is very hard to keep track of where everything's coming from.
Oh, and they know that they're getting some unwanted company. Nice edit to try and get out of the source of danger quickly. A shotgun blast rains from on high, and we're looking at a Greensburg player here is relatively low, about half on health, no shields to be spoken of. A quick rotation is required here because that circle is coming in about a dozen seconds.
Legion up top. Now contesting this mid ground, trying to get those kills here earlier on in this round. They know that they've continuously lost that last storm battle, trying to stay alive. And so contesting this middle ground and maybe going for kills a little bit earlier has been their adjustment.
We always talk about how teams do adjust and remain malleable to play their best game plan and come out on top when forced to play an opponent. Speaking of, you just found a nasty rat hole, and they don't want any part of that one. You can see him just kind of backing up afterwards. Bad decision trying to poke that hornet's nest.
Yeah, and they missed their shotgun shot there, and that was the difference in that fight. If they would have landed that, it would have been maybe a different story there. But for Clicks here on behalf of Hobart, needing to heal that raw HP back up and hopefully playing that late game strategy that they can, because there's not very many members alive for each of these teams. I believe each team has lost some players. We see one more player drop down there as well. And so for the Legion here, 2 of their players left alive. What can they do to secure this round win?
I think that was a pirate that was made to walk the plank, but as it is, that was a perfect example of kiting, right? You give a little bit of attention right there, force players to chase you back to where you and your team... Oh no, it's a jump instead of a run! Barely gets inside, 1 health to go! They know what's gonna happen, the last player alive. This Legion player, oh no!
Wow, Hobart!
Oh no. When's the last time you saw a player with literally, like, people say all the time, like, he's won. Usually when my teammates say that mean that player is not actually taking any damage whatsoever, right, CLE?
Right.
But that player was actually won. No shields, 1 health. 1 health.
Craziness. Yeah, absolutely insane. Hobart, though, 3 in a row. They have come back with a vengeance as we head into round number 8 here. This is going to be... If Legion doesn't win here, it's over.
Yeah, so here's an interesting one for you,
close.
right?
They could tie it.
Yeah, they could tie it. They could tie it. So, like, yeah, if Hobart gets 1 and then Lyndhurst gets, like, rounds 9 and then 10, then we'd kind of have, like, a tiebreaker situation. I'm assuming eliminations would come after that for
Sure.
that tiebreaker. Not 100% sure. Not the gospel truth here, so don't quote me on that, folks. But we'll get confirmed on that from our goated production staff in just a little bit. Big shout out to Connie, big shout out to Taylor, big shout out to Jaden, producing away, observing away, all that fine stuff, and making our jobs as casters just that much easier. Very much appreciate y'all.
Game number 8 here. 3-3-1 for our players. The Legion needing to make a big comeback. They have absolutely dominated the lobby in kills, but not in round wins. What are they going to do? Tugboat, can they make this adjustment? They clearly know their play style, and it was an aggressive one. But it's not working in this game.
Yeah, what an interest, like, it's so interesting, the math right here, right? Given that we have 3 games left, as long as, if the Legion get 1 of the next 2, then they're still completely within the running, right? We're also, we're getting tiebreaker confirmation in the, behind the scenes right now, guys, so we can kind of get, like, a little bit of a better idea of, like, how exactly this would shake out. But if Hobart or the Pirates take 1 when they have secured their spot, well, no, they won't have, right? Because if Hobart takes 1, and then the Pirates take 2, well, just the top 2. So, yeah. So, either Hobart or the Pirates take 1, they will have secured 1 of the 2 spots in the last, regardless of any other tiebreakers for the other 2 teams. Man, the math is hurting my head right now.
Hey, it could come down to a 3-3-3 situation, and then that last game is winner moves on, and the other ones have tiebreakers, and so it could get really crazy here.
Yeah.
For the IEN Middle School Fortnite tournament happening this fall season. And man, is it going to be an exciting few rounds. We see the strategies being employed by Greensburg and by Hobart, playing that tunnel game that we've seen them have so much success with.
And, like, there's obviously not many explosives here within the game. Obviously, explosives have DOT around them, but it is also possible, right, for 2 players with, less than X amount of health to fall from the same platform that is destroyed at the exact same time. They both start falling at the same time. They both hit the ground at the same time, meaning they would both be eliminated at the same time. There's a lot of tie-breaking capabilities here, guys, honestly, especially once the math comes down to something like this. It's so much harder to do this with 10 games and 4 teams, right? But given that we have 3, the math, basically nothing is secured as of right now, because if the Legion takes 3 games back-to-back, then they'll have 1.
Yes, absolutely. And we see a battle just across the walls here between the Legion and the team on the other side. This window is being shot through with so many bullets, but no one is dying. We do see our player from the Legion here shoot up in the air, breaking some of those builds with that shot grenade. Now trying to locate where they all went.
I don't believe we've seen an elimination yet. 10 seconds to go here before the next circle. There we go. Well, does that count as a caster's curse? You tell me.
Yeah, I think you said it, and then it instantly started happening. So, definitely something like that. For Hobart here, we're sitting on this low ground once again. We're crouching around, trying to figure it out, and we do have confirmation on our tiebreaker. It will be round wins and then kills, and so Legion being ahead in kills means that they will have that tiebreaker advantage, at least for now. And so we want to keep our eye on that kill scoreboard as well. But again, the main metric is round wins, last player alive.
Storm getting small. Now, this is Legion players just trying to find a way in edgewise as this closes entirely. Now they gotta get down there. movement bomb. There's enough. Who got it?
No.
Who got it? This is going to matter so much. It's Hobart!
Let's go, Hobart. 4 in a row now. And we see Clicks now with 10 kills himself. They are absolutely carrying on as far as kills go now, too. So Hobart has locked in their spot in the semifinals.
Okay, all right. So we saw the Legion with a whole lot of elimination. Greensburg spent the middle part of this competition kind of ignoring eliminations. I feel like this is something we should have included to begin with, and we'll do this in future weeks because of 3-team capabilities and how easy it is to have tiebreakers after round wins, right?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, so that's kind of on us a little bit. But yes, eliminations will be next. We have the confirm now here in round 9.
And for the Legion here, they have to win these next 2 rounds. You have to win the next 2 rounds, or your time in the IEN middle school Fortnite competition for this fall is over. And so, needing to get a round win at all costs.
Need it. Legion, they drop a game here. We will play out, obviously, game number 10, but that will be it. Onto the pad here for a little bit of a redeploy, and this is the Legion. They're moving like they know they have to take this game. So
yep. Yeah, and they are kind of sticking to their guns, right? They know that they are great at getting these eliminations, and so they are pushing hard to try and get them early and often. Not quite going for the safe strategy that we've seen win rounds, but instead try and get into their boxes, into their hallways. We see that happening here, taking their walls as best as they can.
Nice redeploy bomb on the other side. Not sure if that's going to be enough for the Legion to maintain. It will not be. That's a lot of Greensburg players that are down. Pirates down here on the open seas.
Clicks is still up, though. Hobart has locked in their spot in the semifinals, but they want to play spoiler to the top-seeded team in our matchup. The Legion currently were the 3 seed going in, and now have the ability to be upset here by Greensburg and Hobart. And so, Ford Super Bro from Hobart trying their best to set that up for them.
Ford Super Bro redeploying to the top as of right now. Fantastic realization of kind of like where their positioning is. Honestly, you saw a couple of players over there, and they have to be thinking right now that is both Greensburg and Lyndhurst. What they can't know is that Greensburg is unfortunately only down to their last player alive, and Hobart is just scrambling for materials right now. You see what? You only have 1 player with a significant amount of shields.
Yeah, those heals just become incredibly important in the later parts of these games. And so Hobart, I believe, have all 4 of their players here together as well, just standing there because they're just so comfy on this low ground. I'm not worried about anything happening for them. For Rai the Shy Guy, we're on high ground now, which we haven't seen much from the Hobart squad.
We have not. 10 seconds till this storm moves yet again, as this is a member just trying to. Oh my goodness! Yeah, I think that's the Legion realizing exactly what was on the docket here. No, excuse me, that's Hobart that found more eliminations and took this through. Correct me if I'm wrong here.
That was an incredibly early ending. I think Hobart just got the elimination needed.
Okay. Yeah. So well, that's yeah, we're still gonna play out this round number 10, guys. Don't you worry. Do not fret. But that is going to be it. Even if Lyndhurst takes this game number 10, we'll have Hobart, let's Clicks Ford, and Rai the Shy Guy, and a 4th player whose name is unpronounceable. And then Greensburg moving on in to the later part of this postseason.
Man, and for the Legion, this is a little bit of a disappointment, right? Like, with your 3rd seed going into this and just expecting to continue to... They did have dominance, right? It just was in kills, not quite in round wins. And so what had worked really well for them in the regular season just wasn't the case here in the playoffs. A lot of these safer players knowing how to build and make these tunnels is what got them their round wins. And for Hobart, the 4th seed, and for Greensburg, the 7th seed,
they were able to turtle and tunnel their way to victory.
Absolutely. Hey, you know what they say, it's the tortoise, not the hare here, especially given the Legion came out. They took round number 1 down. If you'll remember, folks, that was before we even got to, like, next to last circle. That happens again in round number 9, but it's Hobart coming out on top of that one.
Yeah, and I want to speak a little bit to the Legion here because, you know, it may be easy to look at this and be disappointed, but you guys knew your strategy. You guys are beasts at getting kills, and you stuck to your guns, and that's very respectable. Didn't work out this time, but that's with the every given Sunday aspect to esports and gamings and competition in general. At any moment, some teams can step up to the challenge, and so for the Legion, today wasn't your day, but there will be another day where you will be able to compete once again. So well done to you guys as we see the final game happening here on our screen.
Hobart taking the high ground here. Hey, the way I looked at this, why not just play like your standard Fortnite game at this point, right? Why not just try to take out as many eliminations as you can? If you're Hobart, you want to make a statement against Greensburg, and Greensburg want to make a statement against Hobart. Same way right here, and that is exactly what goes forth and happens. I believe that's Hobart, right? That takes down all of them, right?
Yeah, Hobart able to take a 6th win on our scoreboard and overtake them as the top eliminations haver for the tournament. So Hobart was down 1-3-0 and then rattled off 6 in a row and could not be stopped. So congratulations, Hobart and Greensburg, for moving on in our IEN Middle School Fortnite playoffs.
Yeah, big shout out to the Lyndhurst Legion. You came out, you had some serious effort early, all for naught towards the end. Let's take a look at our others, and wow, even more dominating performances. So, you know, I feel a little validated here, right? I said that this seed 3, seed 4, and seed 7 match was going to be the most competitive one on our docket. That's exactly what happened here. Is we see an 8-2, and then the 9th seed getting nothing, and then the 7-3. 8th seed getting nothing there for our matches 1 and matches 2. Glad we covered this one here, CLE.
Yeah, absolutely. It was great. Greensburg obviously getting those 3 wins in a row that they got was a big upset and a huge thing for them, right? They are the lowest seed moving on, and that's something they should be proud of. And so getting those 3-round wins was enough to move them on. And so we are so excited that round 2 will be happening, I believe, in a couple weeks after Thanksgiving. And it will be something that all of our players will be prepping for during the holidays.
Oh, absolutely. Little Fortnite over the Thanksgiving break. You kidding me?
Of course.
It's a given. It's a given. Like turkey stuffing and football on Thanksgiving. There'll be some Fortnite being played by these young folks. I mean, obviously, you can see how their training has paid off on the regular season now across this postseason. Big shout out, and I just want to hit that one yet again, right? The on paper, right, the quote-unquote highest seed in the 3-4-7 is a team that comes out, gets a single round win, and then nothing. And not just nothing, and I'm not trying to like talk smack here or nothing like that, but it was the way that it was done, right? It was Greensburg with 2, 3, and 4, and then 5 through 10 going here for the 4th seed. Big shout out to Hobart on that one. CLE has been a fantastic series of competitions on the day, a fantastic beginning of our postseason.
Absolutely. It was great. And I want to say thank you and farewell to 3 of our teams that competed in our playoffs, the J Gamers, the Vikings, and the Legion. You guys had an excellent showing this year, and looking forward to having you guys back for the next season. And looking forward to having all of you guys back, the viewers, for our next round on December the 4th.
Yeah, postseason not done quite yet. Postseason not done yet. I want to give a shout out to one of the organizations that make postseasons possible here for us at the IEN, and that is, of course, League OS, or LOS, the LOS portal, League OS portal, excuse me. Do you want to play esports in college? Well, I'm sure you do. Now there's ways to search through hundreds of collegiate esports programs to see what they are, what games they play, and even what majors they offer. Just go to portal.leagueos.gg to search, and IEN students can also sign in to manage their own prospect profiles, where all of their stats are automatically updated after each match. Now, there are scholarships out there for players, as well as shoutcasters, hey, social media managers, and more, so make sure to add all of your various talents to your profile within the League OS. Now, Verified collegiate esports coaches are searching all across this LOS portal now for the promising prospects and reaching out to the ones that they like. Of course, LOS portal is free for students, so don't miss your chance to get discovered. Visit portal.leagueos.gg today and take your game to the next level.
And on screen, we're seeing the League OS portal go to work. This is what the tournament is hosted on as far as results go, and we are seeing that here now. Our next round is already decided. We see Hobart being the representative from our game in that match number 5, and Greensburg moving up to match number 4 over there to face the 1st and the 5th seed. And so December 4th couldn't come soon enough.
No, it could not. No, it could not. More esports action here for the IEN. That'll be next Tuesday. Minecraft. Yes, the Minecraft playoffs. That'll be 4:30 EST. Of course, that'll be 1:30 here in the Pacific, on the West Coast Pacific time. I'm FBI Tugboat. If you liked what you heard, bang, bang, bang. At FBI_Tugboat, literally everywhere. That's CLE over here. I always do that. CLE over here. If you liked what you heard, at CLE_TFT. CLE, do you have anything else for the good people before we do bid them adieu?
For the good people, can you guys coach me on Fortnite? You guys are incredibly impressive, and I need to get better, clearly. So well done. Shout out to your coaches and the ways that they help organize these things. Without them, none of this would be possible. And so we're thankful for all of the volunteers that make this all work.
Absolutely. Big shout out Zotac, Landfest, LOS, as well as our production staff and all of the coaches, teachers, players, parents, family members of players, and all that else that are tuning in, supporting your students, your friends, your coworkers, your teammates, whatever else like that in their scholastic esports journey. Thank you guys for watching. We'll catch you on the flip side.